into the camera. How's it going? First way I tried not to go vegan was I eat everything. I'm going all the way back to when I was a child, and I had to eat everything that was put in front of me, and I didn't know any better. I obviously had no choice. I had no idea what I should be eating, what I should not be eating. I was told I had to eat pretty much everything that was put on my plate, and I couldn't leave the table until I did. My mother took me and my sister on a walk to see Ronald McDonald, which seems really twisted now that a child would really be excited to see Ronald McDonald. He looks quite garish and unseemly. As you get a little bit older and you start to interact with certain animals, then you say, well, you know, I don't want to eat this dog. I'm bonding with the dog. I don't want to eat a cat. I'm bonding with the cat. Although you're given little toy animals and things to play with when you're young. But you're told, no, it's okay to eat a sheep. It's okay to eat a cow. It's okay to eat a pig. It's okay to eat these birds. Even though you're playing with them and they look cute and you go to petting zoos, you're still told that it's okay. So the conditioning and the separation of the animal with what's on your plate begins at that time. So the second way that I tried not to be vegan, I decided to eat everything except certain animals as a child. Now, if they had put a dog in front of me to eat and told me that it was a dog, I probably would have thrown quite a fit. Or a cat, I would have thrown quite a fit. So I began to separate certain animals, which I did not do as a younger child because you don't know any better. So yeah, the animal separation began. When I learned what veal was, that it is baby cow, and I only had it once, I didn't order it again. I'm like, why do I want to eat a baby cow? It just seems so psychotic now. I was given a deer to eat. And I cried. I went in the bathroom, had a panic attack, and I had to eat bites of that deer. And it was very upsetting to me because, deer I had put into the good animal group. Because I felt very bad eating, that deer meat and being forced to take bites of that. I mean, it didn't feel good at all. So young people being forced almost perhaps on a daily basis to eat, cows and pigs and chickens and fish and other things that they don't want to eat, I have a great sympathy for that. What am I supposed to do? Feel bad about myself because of what I did as a child? I may as well feel bad about myself for what I did through my entire adulthood, all the way until I was 46, eating meat, of one sort or another. I'm supposed to beat myself up? I'm supposed to beat up people who still eat meat now? No. The thing is, with new information comes new responsibility. The problem is people don't seek out the information that they need to make better choices for themselves. It wasn't until maybe 11 or so years ago, that I saw a documentary, pigs, I think they were in China, but they were being force-fed. There was a tube being shoved down their throats, and food was just being funneled into them forcefully to fatten them up. And I don't like bullying. I've never liked bullying. I've bullied a few times myself when I was very young. But I ended that pretty quick because I was shamed by a teacher, and it just felt like they were being really seriously mistreated. And I know that pigs are intelligent. I definitely had heard that before. When I went to college, we didn't even have cell phones, okay? So there was no internet, there was no YouTube, there's no real way to see videos of what goes on in slaughterhouses readily like there is now. Blissfully unaware of what takes place in slaughterhouses. You just figure it just gets done quick. And that's that, and you just don't think about it, you just eat what's in front of you. And then who wants to go out of their way to watch a documentary about, gets you emotional, you figure there's nothing you can do about it. I said, I'm not eating pigs anymore. But I'm going to eat everything else. So that's the third way that I tried to not go vegan. And I thought eventually I would go vegan. I just felt that in my soul that eventually would happen. The cows came shortly thereafter, very shortly. I mean, within weeks. I said, I'm not going to eat cows either. These are both very, large, intelligent land mammals, and I don't need to be eating either of them anymore. But I'm still going to do fish, seafood. I'm still going to do birds, right? And I'm still doing dairy products. Okay, so that's a fourth way. All right, number 5. came when I decided to cut out, in addition to cows and pigs and a bunch of other animals, I decided I'm not going to eat lobsters. I don't like walking into a restaurant and seeing the lobsters there in the tank and they're alive and their claws are taped and they're like, oh gee, who's going to come in and eat me? And I heard a story about this 40-year-old lobster that was going to be at a restaurant and that was going to be eaten, and the guy bought the lobster and then he set it free. I mean, who wants to just eat a 40-year-old lobster? I mean, live that long life just so it could sit on someone's plate, to have it's dipped in butter, put in someone's stomach. I mean, really? I cut out crabs and oysters and other things, but I'm still gonna eat chicken. I'm still gonna eat fish. I'm still doing dairy, so I'm still trying not to be vegan. I did cut out a lot of fish because I was really worried about what goes on in fish farms. I mean, they're farming them in filthy water. So it's cod and it's birds and it's dairy. Or whatever. I started watching YouTube well over a year ago and getting all the a bunch of information about going completely vegan, because by this time I'm down to just turkey and tuna fish and dairy products. And why I held on to dairy now is just friggin' beyond me, but I'm going to get into that in a second. I mean, I didn't even know they sear their beaks. I didn't know they're throwing away the baby boy chickens into garbage bags and they're grinding them up. I mean, how do you, no, I didn't even know that. It didn't even occur to me to look into that. I heard about battery cages. Oh, but I'm buying cage-free eggs. I'm feeling good about that. I'm buying, chickens that are free-range chickens, right? I was just, what am I, a victim of labeling? No, I'm a victim of my own lack of knowledge. So yeah, it was easy to cut out all birds and eggs. I just completely lost count. Oh man, yeah, dairy farms. Dairy farms. Oh, they're beautiful what they do with the cows. Yeah, certainly, wow. Wow, no, I'm not the only person where it suddenly hits them wait a minute, cows are pregnant and that's how we get our milk, because you just think, oh, the milks are just, you just milk the cow, but no, the cows are pregnant and they're friggin' pregnant. And that's why they have milk. And then their babies are taken away from them, and then that's why they continue to have milk. And then the process repeats itself. Who wants to drink milk when you really think about the fact that it's from another pregnant animal that was forcefully impregnated and had its baby stolen from it? Yeah, that was an easy one to let go. After all that time, just suddenly it's like walking into the sunlight. Whatever. They have vegan cheeses now. Haven't really gotten into that. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I'm not getting into what I eat. You don't want to know what I eat. It's the same thing almost every day that I eat. It's very boring. So then I'm like, okay, fish. Number 7. The way I tried not to go vegan, number 7, is I'm just going to eat fish. The oceans are there's just a massacre going on there. There's mercury in the water. There's mercury that gets into the fish. Dolphins and turtles and all sorts of other things are getting caught in the nets, and then the oceans are being overfished. That was the last thing I was going to hold on to not become a vegan, and that was fish, and I let that go. So then I'm like, okay, well, let's do it. Let's be methodical. Bam, I'm counting my protein every day. I had a notebook that I kept with me for well over a month. I wrote down what I ate, how much protein I was getting. More than enough protein. I mean, I'm probably the equivalent I get each day is what I was if I ate, 3 or 4 chicken breasts or something. I don't crave chocolate. Yeah. I dropped 22 pounds in a year. I mean, it just came right off me, just from eliminating what little meat, I was eating. And I was getting more calories because I was paying attention to that and writing it down every day because that was a concern of mine, right? And I didn't have to step up my exercise at all. The fat just started coming off. I used myself as an experiment. I said, I'm going to go for this. I want people to know that they can cut out their meat, they can eat more calories, they can feel better, and the weight will just come off of them, Oh man, that's just like knowledge that should be shared with everybody. I'm walking around and oh my, geez, it's a friggin', it's desperate out there because they're still eating saturated fat. The weight's not gonna come off. Eat more if you're overweight. Just don't eat animals, but eat more carbohydrates. All throughout the whole day. I eat whatever I want. I try to tell people. I say have oatmeal in the morning. Just make yourself a big thing of oatmeal. Half a cup of oatmeal has 5 grams of protein. Go out and you see, hey, that was almost like Christopher Walken. Go out and you see, yeah, all up and down the roads, all the restaurants and all the deals for all the meats and everything. I mean, it's in the supermarkets, all piled up. They had like meat in a shopping cart with a bunch. Just I can't even look at it. Packaged up meat. Why the hell wouldn't you want to put that in a plastic bag, man? So it's dripping. It's dripping where I'm going to put my stuff. What the hell? Felt like, I'm not as much of a guy. I'm not a man, if I'm not eating meat anymore. But then you've got kids. Then you got kids eating Happy Meals, right? Are they manly? These little kids, and they got meat in their Happy Meals. Are they manly? Are those babies manly? So why do we have to feel manly because we're eating meat and we're barbecuing meat? Why is that a way for us to feel manly when any child can eat meat, right? This is a carnivore. I know I made the connection. I know that my perception changed. So that tells me that can happen for other people too. It can. In several ways. Because you don't want to kill animals, and the slaughter is horrific, and there's safety concerns. And the other way is because you want to be healthier. Both awesome reasons to leave animals alone. So yeah, I tried not to be a vegan. And sometimes I still can't believe I am now. Okay.